I have shown stepwise, but when you will be skilled enough, you can write directly this one, ddx of 2x cube plus 5, that is equal to 6x square. Now e to the power xy is there, not e to the power x. That is why I take this 5 by 6 e to the power v, where v equal to xy. Welcome to btosacademy, welcome to my maths class. In the last episode, for the class 12 standard students, I started calculus part, continuity, differentiability topic. Now, today I shall continue first order derivatives. In the last episode, I discussed derivatives of some standard functions. Today, I am going to discuss further rules, laws of derivatives. Actually, in the class 11 standard, we learned finding derivatives of some standard function, also learned theorems on derivatives, but there are still many more types of functions for finding the derivatives of which we need more rules. The first one is derivative of a function of a function. Derivative of a function of a function. Also, it is called derivative of a composite function. The form will be, I discuss stepwise. I say rule 1 for class 12. Form y equal to f of ix. Generally, we got y fx. That means x is the independent variable. Here, phi x is treated as independent variable. That is why y equal to f of phi x. Phi x is differentiable function in the given interval. Method: let phi x be u. Therefore, y is now function of u and u equal to 5x. Now we get y function of u and u function of x. I follow these steps. I can find easily dy du, that is f dash u, and from this du dx phi dash x. Now this u is replaced by phi x, that is f dash phi x. Therefore, dy dx is equal to dy du into du dx. dy dx, that is equal to dy du into du dx. The proof is not in the syllabus, that is not in our scope, but it can be proved. This formula or rule is known as chain rule. dy dx equal to dy du into du dx. Therefore, dy dx is equal to, in place of dy dy, this one f dash therefore we get finally dy dx is equal to f dash of phi x into phi dash x. Students, you can do, after practicing few sums, mentally, keeping in mind the part of which fx is function that is to be differentiated, then use this formula. Let me take example, then it will be clear. This one is to be differentiated with respect to x. Now we see 2x cube plus 5 whole to the power 10. Originally we have the form x to the power n, but in place of x it is 2x cube plus 5. That means that is of the form function of function. We start like this. Let now it is of the form x to the power 10, but in place of x it is 2x cube plus 5. That is why we take it as q to the power 10, where u is equal to 2x cube plus 5. Thus we have expressed y as a function of u, then u is function of x. Therefore, we can easily find dy du (10 u to the power 9). so that dy du, I replace u, this one, then du dx, du dx, that is ddx of 2x cube plus 5, that is equal to ddx of 2x cube plus ddx of 5. 2 is constant, taken out, then ddx of x cube means 3x square, and this one is ddx of constant 0. I have shown stepwise, but when you will be skilled enough, you can write directly this one, ddx of 2x cube plus 5, that is equal to 6x square. You can write, you can skip the intermediate steps. Therefore, dy dx is equal to dy du dx. I suggest students, in the first part you write this form, dy dx equal to dy du into du dx, that is the chain rule. Then put values. 10 2x cube plus 5 whole to the power 9 into 6x square. Therefore, finally, dy dx is equal to 16x square into 2x cube plus 5 whole to the power 9. That is the answer. Thus, student, you follow. If you get a function of this form, y is equal to f of another function, then we have to use chain rule. I have taken here one example, 2x cube plus 5 whole to the power 10. If I take this as a function y, then y equal to this one. Now this is not in that form x to the power n, that is why we first take this one as u. Then this is y is equal to u to the power 10, where u equal to this. Now y is expressed as function of u and u is function of x. Then I have followed these steps. Follow carefully. The first term is solved. Next sum is y equal to log of 10x by 2 to the base e. Y is equal to log of 10x by 2. We can omit e, as in calculus base is e if it is not mentioned. Log of 10x by 2, I take first 10x by 2 as u. Again 10x by 2, that means that is not on of the form tan theta. In place of theta it is x by 2, therefore we can take it as thus y is function of u, u is function of v, v is a function of x. Therefore, we can use chain rule. First, this one, y function of u, therefore dy du, that is equal to derivative of log u, that is 1 by u. Now we replace u in terms of x by 2, that is 1 by tan x by 2. Now u is function of v, therefore du dv is equal to sec square v. U equal to tan v, therefore du dv will be sec square v. Now if we replace v in terms of x, that will be sec square x by 2. Next, v equal to x by 2, therefore dv dx is equal to ddx of x by 2 equal to half. Half into ddx of x means half into 1, that is equal to half. Therefore, dy dx is equal to dy du dv into dv dx. This is the generalized form of chain rule. Now we put the values. Express this in terms of sine cos. Then it will be cos x by 2 by sin x by 2. This 2 is taken here into 1 by cos square x by 2. On simplification, it will be thus dy dx is equal to 1 by 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2, and this is nothing but sin x. Therefore, dy dx is equal to 1 by sin x, that is cosec x. This is the answer. My suggestion to my students, you will find frequently trigonometrical formula or trigonometrical identities. That is why I suggest that you note down the necessary trigonometrical ratios, trigonometrical identities which you have learnt in class 10th standard as well as in 11th standard. Trigonometrical ratios of multiple angle, submultiple angle, etc. That will be very much useful for you. This sum is solved. Now this sum, y is equal to sine, in place of angle there is pi by 6 into e to the power xy. Therefore, the form is function of another function. When x equal to 0, first we find the value of y when x equal to 0. When x equal to 0, y equal to sine of pi by 6 into e to the power 0, sine pi by 6, that means half. Now let y equal to sine of pi by 6 into e to the power xy is equal to sine of, say, u, where u equal to pi by 6 into e to the power xy. Now e to the power xy is there, not e to the power x. That is why I take this pi by 6 e to the power v, where v equal to xy. Thus finally we got, therefore, y equal to sine u, u equal to pi by 6 into e to the power v, where v equal to xy. Now I find dy du cos of u, that means cos of pi by 6 into e to the power xy. Then du dv, u is function of v, du dv, pi by 6 is constant, pi by 6 into ddv, du dv is equal to pi by 6 into ddv of e to the power v, that is equal to pi by 6 into e to the power v. Now if we replace v by xy, it is pi by 6 e to the power xy. Now v in terms of xy, therefore dv dx is equal to ddx of xy, that is equal to, now product from xy means product from, therefore that will be equal to x into dy dx plus y into ddx of x is equal to x dy dx plus y. Now I come to the left part. Therefore dy dx is equal to, first we write the chain rule, cos of pi by 6 into e to the power xy into pi by 6 e to the power xy into x dy dx plus y. Pi by 6 into e to the power xy into cos of pi by 6 into e to the power xy. This part into whole, therefore there will be x dy dx plus, here we see dy dx is also there on the right part. For that I multiply this with each term within the brackets first. Let us check this into this x dy dx, then this into y is this one. We have got dy dx up to this. Now I found dy dx is also on the right side. For that I first multiply this expression with each of these two terms, then take dy dx terms on the left side. I have skipped one step. After taking dy dx common factor, we shall get this one. 1 minus pi x by 6 into e to the power xy into cos of pi by 6 into e to the power xy whole into dy dx equal to right side equal to this one. Then dy dx will be equal to this divided by this one. Then we have to find the derivative when x equal to 0. That is represented by this symbol dy dx at x equal to 0. Also written as dy dx within first brackets x equal to 0. Then if we put the value x equal to 0 on the right part, the denominator becomes this part. This part of the denominator becomes 0 because there is x. Therefore, numerator becomes pi by 6 into value of y. Already I have found that half into cos within brackets pi by 6 into e to the power 0 means 1. Finally, cos of pi by 6 divided by 1 minus 0. Finally, dy dx is equal to pi by 12 into root 3 by 2 by 1, that is root 3 into pi by 24. This is the answer. I can write finally, therefore, dy dx x equal to 0 is pi root 3 or root 3 pi by 24. That is the answer.